Hi, this is Lindsay from The Homey Life, and today I wanted to share some tips on living with one income, so one income household. So, my husband and I, we've been married for 10 years, and at the beginning of our marriage was definitely a lot more struggle. At the time, the only thing we owned was my husband owned his car. I did have to get a loan out for my car for just a short while, and we were renting, so we really didn't have very much at all. But we had decided right from the beginning that I was going to be a stay at home mom. I was going to raise our children, which we now have three, and I have another one on the way, and I would be homeschooling them. So, predominantly, my husband has been the breadwinner, I guess they would say. And we have been able to not only just survive, but we have managed to thrive. And I really wanted to share some things that we did that really, really helped to save money and make it possible to be able to stay at home with your family with just one income. And please let me know in the comments if there's anything that you do that really helps to save money. And now you will see me making different things throughout the day. I thought I'll just do a video so you have something to watch. And I'll leave the links for like the waffles and everything that I'm baking and making in the descriptions below. But let's get started with this video. So the very first thing I'd recommend doing is sorting out your finances. So first figure out pretty much how much you're bringing in every single week. So how much your husband brings in every week, even if he's only getting paid every fortnight or monthly, it does work out easier if you just break that up and figure out your weekly average income that's coming into the household. From there, I would highly recommend start breaking down all of your expenses. Things like, okay, how much do you need for groceries every week? How much do you put aside for fuel? How much do you need for rent or mortgage? Don't forget to work out things like your utility costs. So I know those are generally like every 3 months. Rates could be like every 6 months. And break that down to how much it costs kind of a week. Phone bills, like all your necessities, everything that you know you have to pay for. Now, we also made sure to set aside some money for like birthday gifts, Christmas gifts, for different things like that, clothes, things that we thought we would need and what we thought on average we would need to put aside a week. And then anything left over was going straight to pay off the car loan at the time, or if you have a house loan, it could be the house loan, or you just put it aside for savings if there's something you're saving up for to buy, like maybe you're saving up to buy a house. But anything extra, make sure you put that straight away aside. Now, I actually have a whole blog post on budgeting, and it has like a sheet that you could print out as well, so you can break down your expenses. So I'll leave that link below if you wanted to go there. And the sheet is free. You can download that. So that's easy to do, and you can work it out a lot easier. So very first thing, though, is you really do need to work out your budget and how much you have to spend and to save on all necessities. And of course, something that we did at the very beginning is we didn't have any subscriptions whatsoever. So no Prime, no Netflix, nothing like that at all. And if we couldn't afford something in cash, we simply didn't buy it, which can be really hard in this kind of society where, everything you can like kind of pay it later, you pay it slowly at a time with a little interest. We just never ever did that. No credit cards. If you couldn't afford it right then and there, we didn't get it. So at the very beginning, like we couldn't afford a lot of furniture. We got things for free given to us, a lot of stuff. It means like it wasn't very nice, a lot of the stuff. It didn't really necessarily match, but it met our needs. And there's always people giving things either very cheap or for free, like family, friends. People are moving quickly, they just need to get rid of things. We got heaps given to us, and we made do with that until we could eventually get what we wanted. Another really great way to save money is to make things from scratch. Whether you are going to learn to bake from scratch, whether you're preserving things, making your yogurts, cooking dinners and meals from scratch instead of buying like TV dinners and frozen dinners and frozen lunches. Making your food from scratch is so much cheaper and so much healthier for you. So I'm really, really big on making anything I can from scratch. And of course, making snacks from scratch. You can save so much money. So much money making as much as you can homemade from scratch. And you can do this in any kitchen, which is great. All you need is an oven a lot of the times, or a stovetop, some knives, measuring cups and spoons, and you can start cooking. And one of the first things I know I started making was yogurt, because yogurt was really expensive at the stores. And it's something that is filling, it's full of protein, it tastes delicious. But once again, it's actually very expensive at the stores, surprisingly. And all you really need to make yogurt is milk, and you do need a plain culture to begin with, so just a plain yogurt. And after that, you can save your own and use that to make more yogurt. Making your own breads, once again, there's a little learning curve, which is quite enjoyable. It really is very fun, but a little learning curve. But once you get good at it, you don't even have to think about it anymore. You just keep going and doing it. And all those little things really do help to save money. Something else I would do is I would buy in-seasonal food from like farmers markets and buy bulk produce and things and freeze them in season, of course, because it's a lot cheaper when it's in season. And farmers markets also tend to have better deals. So it's a great way to like stock up on apples or oranges or whatever's in season at the time. You just stock up on, make different things, preserve, learn how to ferment them, to preserve them, freeze them. Also at the shops, if you look through the shops, you'll find that there's like unit prices. Just going through the unit prices, sometimes the exact same sort of brand will be quite a different unit price. Like one will be 80 cents, for example, per liter, but the other one is 50 cents per liter. And they essentially have the exact same ingredients in them. It's just the brand name. So I would do little things like that. And I would look at the unit prices, which are just right there in the shops at the prices. And that really did help to cut down our grocery bill. And it was kind of like a fun challenge. Like, how cheap can I feed my family without compromising on health? Now, at that time, we didn't have really any gardens going. We didn't have a space. We were just in a small rental. But obviously, if you can grow your own food, that was something we started doing later, was just growing the things we could, whether we were sprouting stuff, growing greens, herbs, tomatoes. As soon as we were able to grow some food, we were definitely doing it. And that also helps to save money as well. Definitely if you eat lots of salads, you'd be surprised, salads and like sprouts are really expensive at the shops. But they grow so well and you can just keep harvesting from them. So that's a really easy thing to grow. Even on like along windowsills, you can grow herbs and a lot of salad greens quite easily. And so that's just one way of saving a lot. I find saving as much as you can on food, it really helps with the budget. Doing little things like turning off your lights when you're not using them, turning off the faucets like in between brushing your teeth, only taking short showers, not like 10, 20 minutes. We would just do like 5-minute showers, hanging your laundry out instead of using the dryer. Just all those little things help to then decrease your electricity and water bill. Other things would be like thrift shopping, which is actually amazing. So if you don't go thrift shopping for clothes and things, you can get some amazing things that still have the labels on them. And that's another really awesome way to save money and get some really good things. Even if you were like after maybe, let's say, toys for kids, books for kids, games, like you can get some really good quality and nice things for a fraction of the price at the right thrift shops. Some of them can still be quite expensive, I find, these days now, but some of them are still really, really good. I'm just trying to think of anything else that I know I did when I was definitely the beginning stages and trying to save as much as we can. Oh, well, obviously we still wanted to go out and like eat, so we would have our treat nights, which we put money aside for. Go and have, let's say, Indian once a week on a Friday, like dinner or something. Or maybe we'd get like a pizzas or something like that. And we would do that as a treat. They mostly try to do free things, so we'd go to like the park, which we can walk around. Kids had a good time, playground. We'd go see lakes. We'd go to the beach. And just pretty much do all the free things that you can do. Plus there's always heaps of events and different things on that you can do for free. So that's another way of, still being able to go out, enjoying yourself as a family, but not spending heaps of money like going to amusement parks or cinemas or, fancy restaurants, when you can just have a nice takeaway meal at your home, maybe light some candles, for example, and make it a really lovely experience. But I just want to encourage you that if you want to stay at home and live on one income, it's totally possible. You can definitely make that happen. you might have to not splurge so much on certain things so that you can stay at home, raise your kids, and live the lifestyle you want. It is definitely something that is possible. So I hope that this video has encouraged you and kind of given you some tips. It's like a fun challenge. So see it as a fun challenge of how much can you save, how much can you make, what are all the little tips and tricks and things that you can do. I mean, I'd love to know in the comments, what are some things you do to save money? Like, let me know in the comments what I've missed, because I'm sure I've missed heaps of things. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys again in my next video. Have a lovely day. Bye.